Today, many men hesitate to get into a committed relationship with women, and this is mostly noticed in Sigmas. While some men are still captivated by most of their artificial beauty, the Sigma men are all too conscious of what lies underneath. He is a free-thinking, clever individual who rejects conformity and simply follows his own path. To be in his life, you must qualify with personality and not simply your outlook. The Sigmas doesn't tolerate the attitude of most modern women and never place them on a pedestal like other men. But what could be the reason behind this? Here are some explanations why Sigma men avoid most modern women like the plague. 1. They are vulnerable to any rich dude without even considering other significant personalities. It is not unusual for most of these women to give in to any man with a big wallet. Without even thinking long-term, they are readily seduced by financial affluence and showy present without getting to know an individual's personality. Although it's possible that some women does not have these kind of mentality, it happens quite often that the Sigmas steer clear these women. Majority of modern women choose their mates not with their emotions, but with their finances just to get to the next level and leave. The Sigma males see this as a major warning sign and an evidence of her low self-worth. Of course, every woman wants to have a sense of security. However, most of these women lack emotional control and are prepared to forego their genuine worth in exchange for financial security. Even if she is in a good relationship with a good man who is ready to take good care of her, she will always wait for the next big catch. In other words, most of these women don't know what they really want, and most men are getting tired of their manipulations. 2. They put too much emphasis on their looks rather than character. The modern woman is fixated on taking the ideal social media pictures or videos and adhering to cosmetic surgeries without considering the long-term effects. Unfortunately, this is a big turn-off to Sigma males who are more drawn to inner charm than outward looks. This does not mean Sigmas don't get attracted by beauty. They like women who are at ease with who they are and don't stress about beauty standards placed by the mainstream. The modern women have a lot of pressure to appear a certain way because of social media notions, making them insecure with themselves. Even the most beautiful woman wants to change or add something just to look like someone else because it's trending, but that is a huge turn-off to the Sigmas. Because of these superficial objectives, most men with self-respect won't invest anything on these women. Besides, this concern with appearance often spills over into other aspects of the modern woman's life, making it difficult to have any serious relationship with them. 3. They have unreasonable expectations for men. Women in today's society have exceptionally unrealistic expectations of men and quite often look for the perfect life mate, quote-unquote, Mr. Right. Nevertheless, Sigma men do not subscribe to the concept of perfection, and as a result, they do not have any interest in meeting such an impossible objective. They prefer to establish a relationship that is founded on respect and comprehension than one that requires them to conform to expectations. Of course, it's commendable to uphold high standards, but it is utterly unreasonable to demand perfection from anyone. Sigmas are opposed to be labeled or deemed inferior on the basis of their looks or their financial situation, and they despise the idea of being pigeonholed. For this reason, Sigma men will often avoid relationships with such women in favor of being with a woman with reasonable expectations. 4. Most attempt to dictate their partner's behaviors and choices. Because of their level of education and mainstream media, modern women have developed a tendency to become overly bossy, always attempting to take the position of a man. When compared to the traditional women, most modern women have no feminine traits, and not only Sigmas but men in general are incapable of tolerating their domineering and overbearing mentality. Sigma men only wants a woman who will give them space to think and let them make their own choices. When two people are in a relationship, there shouldn't be one person who is attempting to exert dominance over the other. Instead, the focus should be on respect. The Sigma men are opposed to being instructed regarding their actions because they know this will only cause them to feel resentful and frustrated. They would much rather have a spouse who trusts their own judgment and who does not exert any pressure or attempt to manipulate them into making their own choices. When confronted with behavior of this kind, Sigma males often withdraw their attention or perhaps completely terminate their ties to the relationship in question. 5. They are ever glued to their phones, focusing on social media. The modern woman is always hooked to her phone, browsing through social media platforms, and most of them are just looking for attention and validations. Sigma males places a high value on privacy and cannot stand it when other people aren't fully present in the here and now. He does not need continuous approval from anyone and does not feel the need to continually refresh his phone for new feeds. If the woman he is dating is more concerned with what's going on with her phone, he would most likely remove himself from the predicament. When you have a deep relationship with someone, you are able to tune out the noise and distractions of ordinary life to give them your full attention. Although some women earn their career via branded content, there are situations when it may be carried to an extreme. Sigma men are put off when women try to seem flawless online, always posting their photos and videos just to enjoy the likes and comments from simps. They would rather go for someone who is down to earth and self-confident, who is more absorbed in the moment. 6. They are extremely sensitive and can often create an enormous deal out of nothing. Most modern women have a tendency to be too quick to criticize others and offended by almost everything. Sigma guys have a very low tolerance for those who are overly sensitive in every situation. They are hesitant about having to always be on edge for fear of upsetting someone by saying anything inappropriate. Sigmas place a high value on honesty and openness, which may be challenging for an individual who is always on edge. How can a man have faith that a woman won't misunderstand him or exaggerate the seriousness of a situation if she is hypersensitive to every slightest thing and takes everything personally? Because of this extreme sensitivity, it is challenging for Sigmas to open up and be themselves in such relationships. As a result, he will often choose a partner who understands how to deal with every situation properly. 7. They have rotation of men in their circle as friends and keep in contact with their exes. The majority of women today have a list of men they are dealing with or keep their exes around, just in any case they may need a rebound. However, Sigma men often get over their exes and have little interest in maintaining contact. They are loyal people and would not like to put their present relationship in jeopardy because of their past. When you have your ex in the picture, it's easy to mess your relationship with frequent comparison of your past and present, always thinking that there is something missing. If a woman keeps in touch with her former partners in the hope that they may be able to patch things up, not only Sigma men but also other men who have self-respect won't deal with her. Sigma sets a high standard on loyalty and trust, both of which are difficult to maintain when one party is having a list of people in contact. Because of this, instead of staying in such a relationship, Sigma men will walk away. Although it's true that not all women who stays in touch with their exes do so with the intention of sneaking around, Sigma men will nevertheless steer clear of the situation if they detect even the slightest trace of uncertainty or hesitancy. 8. They never appreciate what they have. Most modern women take things for granted, either in relationships, careers, homes, vacations, and many more. Sigma men will not tolerate being around a person who fails to cherish the things they already have. They places a high value on being satisfied in one's life and focusing on the here and now. While it's normal to look forward to better things in life, Sigmas prefers to share their life with someone who knows how to appreciate and take pleasure in the here and now. It's wonderful to have big goals, but one must be careful not to lose sight of what's readily available to them in order to achieve those goals. If a woman is unable to pause what she is doing and take pleasure in the present, then this is a huge warning sign for a Sigma. 9. Most of them only understand superficial conversations. What could be more frustrating than a woman who never stops chatting, yet never gets around to anything of substance? Sigma males are attracted to women who have a lot of character and depth. So, they will not be intrigued by a person who simply goes on and on without contributing anything of genuine worth to the discussion. They don't want a person who simply makes empty chit-chats, rather are fascinated by real ideas and thoughts. A Sigma man is not going to be pleased with someone who speaks without thinking about their statements. Instead, he wants a woman who is capable of critical thinking as well as knowing when to remain silent and listen. Sigma men values those who are able to communicate what they believe in while supporting their ideas. This is an appealing attribute that if a lady enjoys, then it's a very good indication that she will be worth the time and effort of Sigmas. 10. They often consider themselves entitled. While it's ethical to treat everybody with decency and respect, Sigma guys are put off by anybody who thinks that society owes them favor. The sense of entitlement is very unattractive and often results in misunderstandings and disagreements. Since Sigma males place a high value on maximum effort and humility, anyone who expects the universe to pander to their whims will have a difficult time gaining their favor. Showing them that you are appreciative and modest makes a significant impression in their eyes. A Sigma man recognizes the significance of a woman being able to advocate for herself, but what he really looks for is a partner who is able to act without seeking anything in return. Sigma men will be suspicious of a woman's motivations and may opt to avoid being in a relationship with her if she is always asking for favors or preferential treatment.